All right, everybody, welcome to Custom OGT, where we break down stigmas, we think for ourselves, and we know that better days are just the right song away. So it's starting to get a little bit warmer. We're in the springtime now, heading towards summer. But I still feel like there's a cold front coming on. And of course, that is a cheap plug for an amazing band called Freeze the Fall. They're a young trio from Canada who are setting the world on fire. No pun intended. Frozen fire? Cold fire? Either way, they're great, is what I'm saying. And they've got an EP coming out called The Red Garden. Just songs we've heard from it are... They've progressed so far in such a short period of time. But until then, I was cleaning up the place, cleaning up the house, trying to get my new setup going here. I hope you guys like that. But I found a couple of old VHS tapes. And the first thing I thought of was the Freeze the Fall song VHS. And I discovered this little nugget on YouTube, which is a behind-the-scenes look at that video, the video was crazy. I guess if you're a horror movie fan and a fan of, heavy melodic music, that should tick all of your boxes. So yeah, I figured let's check this out, let's react to it, because the thing about Freeze the Fall is they put a lot of thought, not just into their music, but every aspect. Like, you'll see a visual on an album cover that you just think is kind of okay to put it there because it looks cool, but it turns out there's this very deep lore behind it. And I think that's great. That is the kind of approach that will get you very hardcore fans, people invested in your work. So yeah, let's check this out. I'm an old man. I grew up pre-cell phone, pre-internet. VHS was a way to go once upon a time. So yeah, when I saw Freeze the Fall had a song called VHS, it made an already cool band that much cooler. So let's go behind the scenes, guys.
It's amazing to see that people are connecting with our music, and it means the world to us. Don't be afraid of the camera's glance, right back the fear, tethered to the memory.
We're Freeze the Fall. Fully believe and feel those wires ripping through your bones. Okay? Let's have fun. Phenomenal, man.
It's really important for us to be able to relate to other people and other problems that we've all gone through.
I want to see what the world has to offer.
I want this to be as big as it can get.
See the story in your eyes.
VHS is, generally it's about power. It's about how people who have a lot, excessive amounts of power tend to abuse it. And people who don't have that, they kind of fall into this, Stockholm syndrome, this trap following the people who are abusing that power.
But a challenge to write something heavier. When it clicks.
I would like to touch on what Quinn was saying there. She talks about people that have power tend to exploit it or abuse it, and people that have none tend to be drawn to those that do. She mentioned Stockholm Syndrome. It really does feel like a lot of people do not want to carve their own path or blaze their own trail or think for themselves. They just want to follow the noise. I don't know if that's inherent in the human condition. Because in theory it makes sense, because anytime you're trying to achieve something, if you have too many people that are trying to play the role of leader, it tends to end up in chaos. That's where the old cliche, too many chiefs, not enough Indians, too many cooks spoil the soup, that sort of thing. So a power structure is necessary for a civilized society, but then power corrupts. So it's almost like this sort of an inescapable loop. And I mean, major props. They're very young, so they're using their heads. They are definitely thinking for themselves. For those that aspire to follow their own path, who don't just want to go where the noise leads, music and rock and roll in particular has always been a voice for those people. And as long as we're talking about rocking, it amazes me just how heavy and dense Freeze the Fall's music is, while at the same time having so much melody and harmony and texture. Very hard to nail that balance, and they do it perfectly. All right, let's get back to this. Also, I do have to say that anytime I see a demonic nurse, I have to think of Silent Hill, which gives me memories that are both great and terrible. I love those games, but they gave me nightmares for quite a while.
Syndrome, like this trap following the people who are abusing that power.
I had a challenge to write something heavier. When it clicked, we were like, yeah, this is it.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Seriously.
We love horror movies, and our favorite type, all of us, is found footage horror, so you get a lot of that like weird shady camera work and VHS tapes.
We envisioned for this EP that each song would be connected in a story, but each song would have its own character, and each song would have its own flower.
And we wanted some sort of visual. We designed them as like these like coins, and they had like two sides. So one side had like the character's face on it, and then the other side had the flower related to it.
These characters all play a part in the story.
Kind of as a throwback to One Left Standing, we had this really vintage looking microphone put in my throat.
A little like Easter egg about the first half of the video. Quinn and I are wearing these shirts that were made for us like very beginning of Freeze the Fall, and we wore them in like the first ever photo shoot of us. It's kind of like a throwback to like the old us and how we're being like changed into something new, so then we're not wearing them at the end.
That's the stuff that I was talking about. That is the creativity and putting things there for a reason, not just because they look cool or they sound cool. I love the idea of not only do the songs tell a story, each song is representing a character, which is in turn represented by a flower. That is layers of creativity there, and I think those sort of things in some ways were almost more fun before social media came, because you could go on YouTube and sort of have it spoiled for you. The hypocrisy of that statement is not lost on me, by the way. I'm saying this as I'm making a YouTube video breaking down the behind the scenes and the lore and whatnot. But regardless, it's really cool that they put you in the mindset to where when you watch their videos, you're trying to connect things. So then you can see them be like, oh, okay, yeah, I got that right. Okay, I was wrong with that, but that's a cool kind of alternate take. I love that approach. And I appreciate the fact that the band has a tightly knit unit that supports them. They're able to create these videos that look amazing without, needing the budget of a small country. And, one of these days, I think very soon, some big companies are going to be throwing a lot of money at Freeze the Fall. And they're going to look back at these times and remember. They're going to remember that they made it, and they made their mark without that. That these companies came to them because of what they had done without their assistance. Yeah, and it's cool to be playing a small part in the story, just being here watching them rise up. That is, it's great to see, because they're great kids and they deserve it. And they're amazing musicians too. So they deserve it for that reason as well.
The shrine, it was supposed to be as if like the killer from the video had been like kind of stalking us, and I was writing in this journal, and the page I was writing on, it got ripped out. That's probably one of the most important things on the shrine, so you gotta find that.
Our fans are amazing.
You have a lot of American fans.
The first time we play out of Canada, I think that's going to be pretty exciting. It's crazy.
And we see all the work and the effort that you put into helping to build the community and to make the community a nice place for people. Just thank you so much for taking the time and for caring about.
Wait. Ah, there's Danny. Shit. Not expected. Apologies. And they're smart enough and humble enough to understand and respect the reactor circuit as a vehicle for promotion, as opposed to sort of like these greedy people that are trying to make lazy content off of and steal money off of the band or the label's hard work. Yeah, that is really great to see. That's a beautiful gesture on their part. Great to see Danny up there. Little unexpected. I love our little channel to death. I guess. See, they very easily just could have put the bigger reaction channels that have supported them up there, but they did even the smaller ones, the up and comers, the ones that are basically trying to do with their craft what Free to Fall is doing with theirs. So thank you, is what I'm trying to say. That was excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was beautiful. It was great to see that. BEL Development, Jessie, he's been with them for so long. I like everything branched off from that. He does so much work for them and with them. Yeah, it says something for the character of the band that they bring people like this to. One moment, please. Station. I guess what I was trying to say is you put out good vibes, it's going to attract good people. So yeah, shout out to all of these people doing their part, getting the band's music out there, helping the world hear what the band is doing. I even forgot to change the camera. Yeah, that meant a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much. Speechless. Not a good position to be in as a reactor. So I'll say thank you again, and we'll get back to this.
Taking the time and for caring about this project as much as we do, because we notice that and it means the world to us.
Yeah, their time is coming. They're going to be huge. It's great kids, great musicians. Just to sort of be a fly on the wall, just for the grueling sessions doing those videos. I bet those make amazing memories. Just the brainstorming sessions to create the music and then the concepts. Yeah, Freeze to Fall is an absolutely amazing band. Support them any way that you can, guys. Money is hard to come by nowadays. I understand that. Watch their videos, leave comments, subscribe to their channel. They give back. Believe me, they give back. So thank you guys very much. It's been a pretty amazing experience. Yeah, I can't wait for the EP. Gonna get a physical copy. Might do a review here on the album. And until then, guys, weather the storm, enjoy the cold front. Mental health is real. Be a part of the start. Take care of yourself so you can take care of others. And music is far and away your very best support group. So thank you. Thank you so much.